What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 254. I am your host, Tony Polanco, and I'm joined by Carlos Romero,
Yo, what's up, people?
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Brett Murdoch,
Yo.
and Brian Manjoma.
Oi, sir.
Yeah, get the oyster. Yo. Oh, man, what's going on, people? All right, your boy's back. I give a big shout out to Carlos for holding it down, hosting the show over on Thursday. And shout out to Big Mike and Dan from the Platform Podcast for filling in for Manny and I. So that was pretty cool. I heard some of the show. You guys were having a lot of fun. A lot of craziness was going on with that soundboard, man.
Yo, man, we need a soundboard now.
You know?
Yeah, man. Sometimes I can do the dun, but it messes up my vocal cords, man. I need to preserve those, man, for the future.
You know?
Soundboard will make my life so much easier.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll let you handle it because I had the soundboard. I'm like, I can't host and do all this shit at the same time, you know? And I think Manny had the soundboard too, but then, he would forget to do shit. So maybe you should just be there like, wah, 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 doing all this crazy shit. Oh, also, I got to give a shout out to our moderator, Barry Burton. With Comic-Con every year with this dude. I'm not going for Comic-Con. I'm not going. I saw this motherfucker yesterday, man. We were hanging out. I don't know if he wants me to give out his government, but even I kept calling him Barry in real life too. It's fucking hilarious. I was like, Barry. I'm like, wait, what am I calling you, Barry? That's not your fucking name.
That happens a lot when you meet people that you mostly converse and interact with online. Like their screen names and all that, they become their names. That's how you know them.
Yo, for a fact when we meet Rico, we're not gonna be calling him Michael.
Yeah, Yo, Rico, you good?
You good, Rico? Yeah. So we hung out for a good while yesterday. We went to Artist Alley. We were hanging out in the press room. It wasn't just like a simple, "Hey, how are you doing, sir?" Like we hung out.
Yeah, man.
I'm too much Barry for IRL, for real, bro. All right, don't fluff. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, by the way, Manny's probably still recovering from Comic-Con. Adam will be here probably later on talking about wrestling. You know how that goes.
They gotta have some.
Yeah, and since I'm the only one on camera tonight, you have to just deal with my ugly mug tonight. Wah! All right, let's get into it, man. Okay, so I switched the questions around a little bit because we got a lot of Shawn Layden questions for obvious reasons, First up, Mr. Big Mike in the house. Yo, Mike, you good?
You good?
All right, so his first question is, or actually his only question, what do you think about crossplay and why was it added after Shawn Layden stepped down? So I guess he's trying to ask, like, do you think crossplay was added because he stepped down? Like, because that's a conspiracy theory that's going on right now. What do you guys think about that? I'm going to go to Chris first.
Well, all right. I can only speculate. So here's what I think. I think Shawn Layden was dead set against crossplay, opening up crossplay. I think there was a power play in Sony. Some people in Japan were on board with it, and he wasn't. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the head of Sony Interactive in Japan and him resigned, whatever, on the same day. That's a little suspect. I didn't know that when we did the show on Thursday, but looking into it, they pretty much the same day.
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
Yeah. So and the fact that they gave him the "We wish you the best in your future endeavors" tweet, which, I mean, come on, when Reggie retired, how many tears were there? He posted, Nintendo posted, everybody was going on. Shawn Layden, they're just like the corporate goodbye, which is a sign to me that he was told to leave. And he didn't retire, right? He's been at Sony for over 30 years, and the tweet, when I read the tweet again and I saw the future endeavors thing, I'm like, okay, this motherfucker didn't retire. He resigned, but he's the president, right, of Sony Interactive Entertainment America. He can't just he can't just be fired or let go if he has a vote of no confidence with the board or whatever. So they just politely asked him to leave, which is what I think happened. And crossplay may have been the major thing. Maybe he was totally dead set against it. Maybe there's other stuff in the PS5 coming down the pipe that he was against, and they didn't see eye to eye, so he got asked to leave.
Well, it's interesting that I mean, if crossplay was a big factor, then why would Sony, when the announcement did come up about crossplay, it wasn't that big of a deal when they announced it. It's like, oh yeah, crossplay, it's up, it's live for the devs to, it's not in beta anymore, whatever it was. Um, but I don't know. It's really hard to speculate with these things because when it comes to people at the status of Shawn Layden, it's really hard to sort of speculate on what the hell was going on there.
Yeah.
We can only make
I mean,
assumptions, but yeah.
Yeah, when Jack Tretton left, and he already named that Shawn Layden was going to take over for him, right? You already had his successor in place.
Mhm.
Shawn Layden gets a tweet, right? And
Yeah.
somebody's got to fill in for him, which means he exited pretty fast. There was no plan for him to be leaving right now. I don't think, considering all the stuff that's come out, I don't think he was planning to resign or jump ship. It happened too fast.
Yeah, the way it happened, very suspect. So something definitely happened behind the scenes. I don't know. Maybe we'll learn about later. But all we could do right now is just really speculate on it. We don't really know, but I don't know. It's possible that but the whole thing with the Sony of Japan guy leaving on the same day, that's pretty insane. I think that should let people know that something's going on. Yeah. What about the rest of you guys? What do you think, Brian? What are your thoughts?
It's incredibly convenient timing. Like, it's pretty much happened like the day off, as if to say that, okay, cool, he's gone now, and now we can do this. So I would not be surprised if that was the case, that he was one that was saying, let's not do that, and then they said, okay, cool, you need to go now, and then and then now they do have it. Again, it just seems way too convenient for my liking.
Yeah, Brett, you have any thoughts?
I don't believe in coincidence.
Yeah, I think that says it all. Yeah, I don't think and nobody here thinks this just happened. Something's going on.
Yo, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, some people were saying on certain avenues of the internet that he was just leaving a sinking ship.
Or PlayStation.
Yeah, man. There was this PlayStation thing was sinking. And
the fanboys, man, talking shit. Like, Sony doesn't have any money. By the way, shout out to Johnny the Truth Teller. This guy left a lot of comments in the last episode. He's like, Sony's done. They're going third party now. It's like, yo, chill, son.
Oh, yo, I did throw a jab at Sony though. When I don't know. Do we have any PS Now questions?
We do not.
So I'll just mention it here. Then it's like, they announced God of War. They announced Infamous Second Son. It's like, we joked about this when we were serious actually about it when Microsoft was doing. But he's like, PlayStation as a service. Excuse me.
Oh man. The sad part is I kind of wouldn't be surprised. That's the way things are going. Imagine,
hey man, we got crossplay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Nintendo going to be the only holdout.
Yo, man, Nintendo, man. It's going to be my console of choice, even though they don't got fucking online infrastructure or achievements.
Big bad CeeLos. Don't worry, bro. That was just a joke on Carlos's part.
What did he say?
He said, I love Xbox, but PlayStation is sinking, ?
Oh, yeah, that was a complete joke.
Yeah, things get lost on the internet, even if you're saying it with your own voice.
Oh, dude.
All right, man, let's get into it, man. What the fuck? GZDR, his first question. He has another one later, but we're going to ask this one up front because it's also about Mr. Shawn Layden. Okay, so I guess it's more of a speculative type of question. So he goes, if Sony looks outside for a new boss, should they hire the head of a studio who makes battle royale games to shore up their multiplayer titles, or should they look within? Interesting question.
What was the first part of that again?
Okay, if Sony looks outside, outside of Sony for a new boss, somebody to replace Shawn Layden, should they hire the head of a studio who makes battle royale games to shore up their multiplayer titles? This is coming off the fact that people say that Sony doesn't have any strong first party multiplayer games.
That just seems like an overreactive move. Like, hey, let's take somebody who's the head of a studio, not a corporation, but a studio who makes battle royale games, a very specific category, and put them in charge of the Sony Corporation to try and fill the gap. I mean, that's steering awfully hard in the other direction, isn't it?
Yeah, the question is a little weird. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know if that would necessarily like automatically shore up their multiplayer first party games. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is you would want somebody who's qualified for the position who leans more towards the idea of multiplayer games being the next big thing. I mean, ideas are going to change from executive to executive, and it's gonna matter a little bit. But these things are, big conglomerate machines with boards and departments and all kinds of other stuff. So, decisions rarely get made by just one person, despite what a lot of us like to think. Like, we see the flagship person, and we're like, oh, they're in charge. Like, yeah, I mean, kind of they are. But, like, even the president doesn't just get to be like, this is what we're doing. That's the thing that the guy that pitches shit to the board and sees if the board will sign off on it. So, I mean, I feel like the question is just weird, but my answer would be no. Find somebody who's qualified to run a company and who believes in multiplayer titles. Don't hire a developer to do this job.
Yeah,
so he was. So Shawn Layden was the chairman of Sony Worldwide Studios. So
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he was their boss basically. He was their version of Phil Spencer.
Yeah, so he was the top boss. So it's like it's hard to think of who else has been in a position, that was a boss of a major company like this, and now
probably wouldn't even be a gaming company.
Yeah, because it's like
that's true.
Usually, there's not a lot of people that have done what he's done and successfully. So it's like it's hard to imagine. It's like, wait, are we gonna get Don Matrick in this shit?
Oh God.
Or maybe like get Reggie out of retirement.
Oh,
no, we don't want that, man. We don't want that.
So I don't think they're gonna bring up someone that's popular per se. I think they're gonna get someone that's like, who is this? It's like, oh yeah, he's been working at Sony for over 20 years, and he worked his way up and stuff. I think that's the kind of hire they might do.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think they're, whoever's going to replace Shawn Layden is going to be somebody on the inside. It's not going to be some like random guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably going to be somebody that's already been at Sony. Hold on. Actually, before GZDR says that, but before that, I want to say what's up to Adam.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
How you doing? I'm good.
Yo, Adam, by the tone of your voice, it sounds like that pay-per-view was not that.
It was garbage. It was hot garbage. It was so bad that people were booing. They were chanting other promotions. They were chanting cancel WWE Network. I'm sure that when the cameras went on, people were throwing their drinks at the ring. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. They destroyed everybody. Their two top guys just got destroyed. It was horrible.
That's not good. All right, let me read what GZDR says. Thank you for being in the chat. GZDR is always, good about being in the chat, so that's good. Like if they hired the head of Bungie to run Sony, the idea of being Destiny would be favored towards Sony, or if they hired the person who made Fortnite, he could turn Sunset Overdrive into a multiplayer battle royale juggernaut. So what do you say about that, Brett?
Sorry, I got distracted from
I'm not reading all that shit. Go ahead, Carl.
They're going to hire Larry Herb, Major Nelson from Xbox. Yeah, he's going over there.
But, I mean, was that a serious answer? I don't even know. Was that a serious answer or not?
Yeah, go ahead, Carlos. Just say what you're going to say.
No, I disagree with GZDR. The guy who made Fortnite, yeah, he caught lightning in a bottle, but that's pretty much what it was. It was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's like most of these, think about it. Most of these developers don't really have successors that are that are almost as popular or just as popular as their big hits. Other than what, maybe Kojima.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
there's not that many. There's not that many that do this, So it's like
Fortnite was a misfire. It doesn't deserve any goddamn credit.
Fortnite is interesting because think about it. People are like, oh, overnight success. Like, no, Fortnite was actually out for like a year before it actually became a success.
Fortnite was a completely different fucking game built on the back of fusing two popular genres together. The currently popular battle royale genre and the open world building genre. And it tried to have two different modes, and one of those modes died on the vine, and all that was left was battle royale, which had been done in like 3 or 4 other games prior to that were open world survival games. It did nothing original or new. It did nothing better than anything else. It just happened to be the right one that was there, and free.
Yeah, exactly.
Happened to catch public attention. And before anybody goes off on the whole, like, well, because it was free, that was the ingenuitive thing to do, and that was the stroke of genius. To that I say, fuck you, you're ruining gaming.
Damn! Tell me how you really feel, bruh.
Free is horrible. I don't want any free games because we know it just gets infested with all kinds of microtransactions and other bullshit. It ruins it.
Yeah. By the way, quickly, I want to give a shout out to Techno Fabulous. Call of Duty.
Pew, pew, pew. Coming soon. Get hyped.
Play that shit mobile, man. Call of Duty mobile, man. Let's go.
Already did. Got mad, deleted it. Thank you.
Oh.
Yo, Adam, when does that come out?
They turned off controller support. We had controller support, and that's what I was hyped for iOS 13. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use my controller. And then people started getting owned that were using a touchscreen, and they were like, all right, they just turned this shit off.
Damn. No, that wasn't the question I asked you. When does it come out?
No, we were talking about before. It's already out. It's been out.
Wait, Call of Duty came out?
The mobile
for the phone, the mobile.
No, the legit one. The
24th. The 24th.
The 24th of this month. Okay.
You're not gonna see Adam for like a week after that, man.
We said the same thing about Gears, but let's move on.
And I'm still there. I still play the Gears. I've been playing. No, not yet. But because it's a timing thing. It's me and my buddy. We're just trying, and he works overnights, so he got a tough schedule.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, man. Mr. Damian. So his question is, do you think Sony not having a PlayStation experience for 2 years, a mixed reaction to their 2018 E3 presentation, and not being at E3 this year had something to do with Shawn Layden's firing? Do you think this is a good time for PlayStation to do this massive executive shift? Dude, he wasn't fired. He wasn't fired. Chris already explained that. What did they do exactly with him? Did they say, like, did he resign?
Dirty secrets. Wait for the book.
Yeah, he resigned, but it could be though, but it could be one of those things like it'll look better if you resign. Like it'll make us look better. It'll make you look better. So it's like, sometimes that shit happens. Sometimes, like, I think Reggie didn't. Nothing like that happened with Reggie. Just stepped down. Shawn Layden, it was all of us. Like we mentioned, it was pretty sudden. And it was a question.
Yeah. So basically, you just wanted to know: do you think all these things that happened with Sony recently, led to him? Yeah. Go ahead. No.
It's the end of the generation. They have nothing to show. There's all whatever hype shit that they had for this generation has already been shown. The only reason why their E3 showing wasn't as good is because they not because they didn't have the content, is they just did a poor job showing it to us, or at least showing it to the people that weren't there. But yeah, they didn't have PSXs because it's the end of the generation. They don't have anything to show until they actually announce the console. So yeah, I think that's the reason. I don't think it has anything to do with Shawn Layden. Maybe more than anything, I think PlayStation 5 could be a reason why Shawn Layden is not here, because they've been brainstorming the direction of what this console is going to be for the past few years now. So it's like he's been in those talks, and he might have liked it or might not liked it.
Well, how long has he been in directing Sony now?
For 4 years. It's pretty much almost this whole generation.
Yeah,
most
but
of
it wasn't. No, but the critical thing here is it wasn't the whole generation.
I think it was 2014 when he became he's like 2014 he got like the super high position, and in 2016 he took over Jack Tretton, I think. Don't quote me.
If I remember correctly, the PlayStation 4 was already selling gangbusters, and
2013.
In April 2014 is when he succeeded Jack Tretton. So he's been there for like 5 years, pretty much, a little over 5 years.
When was PS4 released?
2013.
Okay, yeah. See, I think that was far enough out that like you could already tell that there was a pretty wide gap between Xbox and PlayStation. So I remember not equating PlayStation 4's success to him. So like it kind of had this meteoric rise and grabbed a bunch of market share, but that wasn't him. So a lot of things that came after were
it's
him.
It's like the Xbox One. It's like that the reason why it launched the way it did wasn't because of Phil Spencer. It was more because of Don Mattrick.
Yeah.
And
So
the same thing with PlayStation.
Yeah, so he really doesn't get brownie points for the initial successful launch of the PlayStation. And I'll be honest, like we've all kind of said this whole generation has been a little bit mediocre. There's been some high points, and we've been hitting our stride recently, but if you're really looking at it from a business point, I can see why, you could see a lack of success. You'd be like, we're not reaching out to our fan base. We don't have a successful ad campaign the way that we used to. Goddamn, what was his name? The quote unquote president of Sony.
Oh,
Kevin Butler.
Kevin Butler. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, Brett. Can I mention something real quick?
Go. Yeah.
For those people saying that Kevin Butler should take over Sony, can you guys just be for real 1 second and just? I think some people are being serious about this.
Yeah, no.
You guys do realize he's not actually the president of Sony. He was never he was an actor.
He was an actor,
People think that he was like, I don't know if they were joking and they just.
Yeah, they're joking because if they really cared, then they know why he got fired. And it's because he was in a Wii commercial.
Yeah, well, he was in
a few things, and the car commercial promoting the Wii.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, the Bridgestone tires, I believe.
Yep. So
yeah, I was actually the first person to report that. Back in the day, wink.
Oh man, and that was just tragic. A bad move by Sony because you really haven't had a successful ad campaign since then. The whole grizzled man selling you weapons from the multiverse. Yeah. The breaking your back to flate yourself. Like, gamers are awesome. Woo.
Yeah. What about the second part of the question? Do you think this was a good time for this to happen with PlayStation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was, man. Nothing's happening right now.
It's a dead bird, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing a fresh mind for the launch of the PlayStation 5.
Yeah. If this was going to happen, this is a perfect time for it.
Yep, and if PlayStation 5, is a sinking ship, then he got off, at the right time.
Yeah, he got off at the right time. That's right, Ben. He didn't go down with the ship. All right, I think we're done with that question. Unless you guys want to add any more to it.
I got an impromptu question that relates to some of this.
Go for it, brother.
Why is it? If one system or another, like let's say, since most of us are Sony, right? If Xbox comes out with a stronger showing with their next system, how many are you willing to go to the dark side or switch allegiances?
I wouldn't.
There's what's switching? I mean, we own all the consoles, so there's really no switch.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Brad, you know me. I
know, jump in your primary system, but y'all know you have a home base that you sit on. Like, would you jump over and have your Xbox be your primary system if you really
absolutely not?
Of course.
Nope.
I did that the last gen. I mean,
I did too. Okay, but you see the mixed reactions here. I'm curious. I want to dig into this. So, like, Adam, you would. Because I'm a scab, I'm a trader. I'll just go with whatever.
There's no need to be scab shit. These are corporate companies. They just want our money. They don't love us.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't give a shit about us.
I'm in the same boat. No brand loyalty whatsoever.
No, man. There's no need for that.
Okay, some of you guys are on the other side of the fence, though, aren't you?
Man, you could be bleeding on the street and they won't help you, man. They won't help you. They won't.
After buying the Xbox One, which was my first and probably the only Xbox console, I'm like, this was such a waste of my fucking money. Because I could play the games on my PC, so I'm like, Nah, don't need an Xbox next generation. Fuck that. I'm good. I'll stick with PlayStation, man. You know, and it's also just like a longevity thing. I've been playing PlayStation since like the early 2000s. I'm like, I kind of like the lineage. I'm comfortable with Sony. There's no reason for me to, jump ship like that. You know, but I'm still probably gonna get every console anyway, except for the Xbox. Again, I don't need it. I could play every Xbox game on my PC with Xbox Game Pass. So no real need for the Xbox, to be honest. For me.
Yeah, for me,
You pony.
Yeah, dude, come on, son. You think I'm denying it, man? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You know, people try to use that shit as a weapon. I use that shit as a shield, motherfucker. That's me, Sony, all day, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, for me, I'm like Adam. If Microsoft, becomes the like, they have to earn it. They can't just be like, oh, just come play with us. They have to bring out the games, and they have to give us a reason why we need to make that system our primary system. But if they do something that's way better than PlayStation, then yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be my.
Yeah, for me, jumping was for the games and the interface. I mean, I still prefer an Xbox controller over the DualShock.
Oh yeah,
I hate that it's centered like that with the thumbsticks. It's fucking awkward.
Yeah.
Hey, can I answer for Manny?
Yo, man.
I think you know his answer though. He's not going on Xbox. Even if this Manny's answer is always like, they have to show me something to get me to switch. They're not showing him shit, man. He's gonna be
they can show him new Metal Gear.
I won't even buy a console until it comes out 2 years after it comes out.
Yeah. All right. You say that like it's never happened, but last generation, that reveal was so one-sided. It was like Mike Tyson fucking fighting a toddler.
Manny still bought a PS3 though.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I still bought a PS3. I was like, I'm not getting no fucking Xbox.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. The PlayStation murdered Xbox this last generation. Like the whole fucking Connect, TV.
Oh yeah, this generation.
Oh my God.
That was over.
Like you guys act like oh, for somebody to stumble and fail and fall on their face on a launch is so absurd. Like, no, dude, it literally happened at the beginning of this generation.
Wait, who said what's absurd now?
You guys act like you act like it'd be like like or quoting for Manny for instance, like you'd have to show me something like if the roles were reversed and Sony had a terrible showing like Microsoft at the beginning of this generation, and Microsoft came in with a solid showing like Sony did at the beginning of this one. Well, like, that's not an absurd concept.
Yeah, no, it isn't at all. You're actually describing the PlayStation 3, and Manny and I still waited for the PS3 to drop the price before we got it. We never even considered the Xbox 360,
But it was new to you guys. You guys didn't have an Xbox.
Yeah, no, I just refused to buy an Xbox on any ground back then. I was like, no, I'm not buying no. I was like, no Xbox in my home.
See, but what's the reason behind it?
Because I was a Sony guy, bro.
Exactly. So it's just a loyalty thing.
Yeah. I'm speaking for myself, obviously.
No, I understand. But that's what it is. It's just a loyalty. So it doesn't matter.
I could be like, hey, I tried an Xbox. Xbox just it's just sitting there collecting dust. I can play the games on my PC. There's absolutely no reason for me to get an Xbox next generation. None.
At least not that we know of.
Yeah, I mean that whole point that Tony's making about everything is on the PC is a valid point.
Yeah, for Xbox, dude, if you have a PC, if you have a decent PC with Xbox Game Pass, you're fucking chilling. You're good. Yeah.
If the PC can support the games, then
of
absolutely.
course. Yeah, but obviously not everybody has the. PC is not available for everybody, so they would want to get an Xbox for sure. Chris, what's your take on this? Brett's question.
Well, what's Brett's question?
Brett, you could ask it. I don't feel like asking again.
Basically, if take whatever system of choice you have a preference to right now.
Yeah.
And let's say that the opposing system came out with a way stronger showing at the beginning of next generation. Mm-hmm. Would you jump ship and go with the competitor, or would you stay brand loyal?
I don't think I'd switch. I mean, if you're saying right now I favor PS4, if you're saying the Xbox Scarlet comes out of the gate strong, would I switch? No, they'd have to do a lot more than that. Like Sony would have to fuck up royally. I think.
Yeah, like
And
Like what
Microsoft.
happened with Microsoft. That's what we're saying. It's like
Imagine the beginning of this generation flops.
interface sucks. The games are whack. The whole overall experience is horrible, and then you see everything is nice and green and shiny on the other side, and all your buddies are jumping ship.
Well, I guess if that might be the tipping point. If everyone jumps ship and like so certain games like Monster Hunter World 2, let's say I can't play with anybody because everybody's on Xbox. Then yeah, I'm probably getting an Xbox, right? So there'll be there's a tipping point for everything. I don't think just strong out of the gate is it. Like too many things would have to go wrong in Sony's camp and go right in Microsoft's camp for that. Then I hit the tipping point.
Yeah. I want to hear Brian's answer.
Why?
I have no loyalty, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like,
There's no
I
reason
generally-
to do it. Yeah, there's no
Like
reason.
I generally don't care like what they do. Like the only thing that I care about is like, okay, do my friends want me to play on it? Then yes. If not, then I don't care. Like the only reason that I got a PS4 was to play GTA 5 with my friends. That's it. It serves no other purpose apart from that. I've only ever bought like 2 games for it, which are Bloodborne and Throwdown Kagra. The rest are all games I played on PSN. Well, and Burnout Paradise.
Hey, Brian, have you played any Xbox games on your PC?
I am looking at Gears of War 5. It's like
There
on
we
sale
go.
at the moment, and
gonna
it comes
finish
with
that
Gears of War
before
4. So it's like, that's really quite tempting.
You know, watch
And also,
Brian. You had.
And also, I purchased Sunset Overdrive because I said it was coming out on PC. No one
Nice.
believed me, and then came out on PC. I'm just saying, I have a track record for this shit. Yeah, with me, it's just whatever I feel like it, and for the most part, like if there's a game I like, I'll buy the system, like the Switch. It had Pokemon Let's Go, and I liked that idea because I like my first Game Boy game was Pokemon Yellow, so hence this was like, oh, cool, nostalgia trip, perfect.
Yeah.
So hence I bought it, and then I liked Astral Chain. I'm like, cool, I might as well just keep it. And then the Switch just has lots of games that I just never played, so I bought it. If there's games on Xbox that I never played, I'll buy it. That's just how that works.
Yo, Brian,
What up?
I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
I'm good.
So I have another question then.
It's a trap.
This motherfucker.
Are you interested in playing Cuphead?
Nope. After Ikaruga, I'm done with bullet hell games. I'm like, cool, I'm done. I'm nice. I have my fill.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Anything else on this? That was a good question, Brett, by the way. I think we're good. Move on here. Where the hell are we? GZDR once again, man. Do you have an inherent? Oh, hold on. Do you have an inheritor? All right. I think that's the word you were looking for. Do you have an inheritor of your gaming collection if you pass away or are locked up for 30 years? Damn, son.
Then we were asked this before. Like if you died and someone else can log into your account, who did you put down for? Who has access?
Did we have that question before?
Yeah, I remember talking about this because you were like, "Oh yeah, who would we pass our gaming collection to?"
Oh
If it's all digital.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. I guess this one's a variant of that same question. Well, I forgot what my answer was. I don't have any inheritors and you know what?
It's Manny. You would have to give
Manny
it to
would
Manny.
No, fuck that. I'll give it to
Or the voice of God.
yeah. No, that would be a good one. Now I'll give it to one of my nephews. I'll let them fight it out. See who gets it. The 18-year-old versus the 8-year-old. To see who's gonna win that fight. You know, I'll give it to them. I'll give it to my nephews, man.
You see, the sad part of this question is that this is inevitable for all of us.
Oh, of course, man. Death
You know what I
is
mean?
coming
Death
for you,
is.
bro.
I'm still getting things from my father-in-law. Like the mother-in-law's giving me stuff that he never wore. Like he bought brand new socks in a bag and shit. I'm like, fuck. It's weird, but it happens. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna throw it out, and it's the same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
whoever has to gather up our stuff is gonna do that.
Yeah. All right, so that's my answer. My nephews, even my nieces, why not? They could all get that shit, you know? All of it. They could have all of this shit. I won't need it. I'll be dead, you know? Let them enjoy it. I'm going to go in our line here. Chris, do you have an inheritor you would give your stuff to, and who is that?
No, not really. You know, I mean, I guess Krista could take it.
Damn.
And so then you have to ask her, what would she do with it? I know she doesn't want it, so would she put it on eBay?
Yeah.
Would she?
No, I mean, she's she gets the collection. We share our games, so she would just have a bigger game collection.
By the way, Adam, you're right. We did get asked this before because I remember my joke answer, and Brett got a little mad about me about this. I'm like, I want to take all that shit with me, and it's gonna come with me like an Egyptian.
Oh yeah,
Egyptian pharaoh and shit.
That's it.
Oh, I was gonna bring that up, Tony.
Yeah. No, but
I was going to. Damn it, you ruined it because I was going to answer. I'm going to be like an Egyptian pharaoh and take it all with me and see if you said anything.
Yeah. That was my original like kind of joke answer, but now no, my real answer like let my fucking nephews and nieces have this shit. What the fuck do I need it for? But if I was rich though, if I was really really rich, yeah, then I would take all that shit with me to the afterlife. Pay off the ferryman. It's like, yo, my heart weighs, because the Egyptians, you got to weigh the heart and shit. If your heart's heavy, you go to Egyptian house, like, all right, yo, here's some money and shit. My heart don't weigh nothing. Let me through, son. Oh, man. Okay, so Adam, who do you have? Well, you have kids and shit, so you're good.
Yeah, I'd give them to my kids. I'd leave some to you. I'd leave some to everybody.
Damn, Adam's like that. I'm going to give you something, Adam. Shit.
Yeah, if I knew my time was coming, then that's what I would do. I would just divide things up. I'm like, all right, well, this guy was asked for this guy wanted this, and then that's it. That's how you do it.
I call dibs on those arcade cabinets, man.
There you go. I'll send you the arcade cabinets. Turtle one's coming on Tuesday.
Yeah, let's go, son.
Can't wait.
You better be on camera when that shit
I'll be on camera. Right now, I'm just rubbing my dirty nipples. That's why I can't be on camera. But
by the way, this is gonna sound fucked up, but I'm sorry, but I know you guys better than my niece and nephews. You guys get first dibs of my shit. Then how about that? Then they could get the scraps. So if you want anything of mine, let me know, son. I got fucking 8-bit dude controllers. I got headsets, man.
There you go. Because think about it. It's not just so much of giving it, but you want to give things that people are gonna appreciate.
Yeah, man.
It's like you don't want to say, all right, here, I'm leaving my nephew all this shit. And he's like, yo, I don't even like this shit. Yo, I'm going to sell this shit tomorrow. Like, damn. You know what I mean? And you could have held on that for years.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are my first inheritors then, right here on Throwdown. You guys get the shit first, Because you're right about it. You guys at least appreciate it. I'm just being real right now,
Yeah.
My oldest nephew would appreciate it, though. The youngest one, I know, he just wants to play Fortnite all day. Some bullshit. Carlos, man.
I'd probably give a lot of it to my nephews, especially the PSVR. My nephew's been asking for me to give him the PSVR for a fucking year or 2 years almost, I think. So I'd probably give him that. I have 3 nephews, so I'd probably just split a lot of it. I'd probably give my 360 collection to Adam because I know he's the only one that would probably appreciate it. Maybe Chris too, but Adam would probably like it more.
I'd put it up on the wall. You'll see it on camera too.
I don't have. Oh, and I'll give my Moonlight Blu-ray to Brian.
How about your Batman v Superman?
You can get that. It's a 4K too. Excuse me.
Then if I go to Adam, then it's like he has the 4K Blu-ray with the Xbox.
There we go.
Yeah, Brett has it too.
Oh,
yeah, man, you guys are balling, man.
What?
I want to see a fight between the 4K media guys now.
Yeah, I got Blade Runner. Oh, actually, I got The Shining on 4K, and I watched it yesterday.
Excuse me?
That show's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I got that one. I just got an idea for a movie script. That something like this happens, right? So everybody talks about what they would give, but it's being recorded, so then it's documented. And then somebody decides that he wants to off one of the other ones so he can get the goods.
I'm pretty sure this has already been made.
I don't know. Make it again.
Yeah.
Maybe make everything.
Yeah. Brian.
I don't know. I don't have anyone I want to give it to. Again, I don't trust. Again, to me, these are somewhat prized. Because again, like they were things that I enjoyed. So I guess I would try and make it like Egyptian style and like be buried with it. But then again, I don't know how practical that is. So maybe just auction it off. Highest bidder wins. Too simple, I guess.
Yeah. Brett.
I would probably actually give it to my buddy Colby.
Ah, Colby, good guy.
Shout out to Colby, man.
Yeah, Colby's a good dude.
Not Morgan?
Colby has he works real fucking hard. He supports a family, works real fucking hard, and that dude does not get to game as much as he really should. Like he's just an awesome dude. It's not having kids and any of that. Like it's way easier for me to be like, dude, you should totally play this game. And I'm on less of a budget than he is, just because I have a family to worry about or anything like that. So like he's good at spending his money responsibly and putting other people before him. And I also think that he would really be able to appreciate not just like the games and the systems, but like the memories of like us back in the day. Like it's not even just like he would get my Switch. He would get the Switch, and that would embody all the memories of us like going back to when we were 16, hanging around playing GameCube until 4 a.m. kind of thing. Like he's the kind of person that I think that would matter to, and I think that it's those memories that bind those moments that really should dictate where you get. So both in function in terms of like he'd really enjoy them and get to use them, and in terms of like being able to appreciate it. So yeah, that's who I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I like that answer. All right. Go ahead.
I'll give I'll give my Wii U collection to Brett. And I give my Xbox One, all of my Xbox Ones to Tony.
A word? It's like that, man. I'll play Knights of the Old Republic, man.
Yo, man, I know you appreciate the Xbox One, man, since you appreciate the one you have right now.
Right? Some one last act of shade dirt.
Yeah, right. By the way, when you said Xbox One, I was thinking about the old Xbox, That's what I was thinking about.
I saw that one.
Yeah, man, I played Chronicles of Riddick and shit, All right, man, let's moving on here. Mr. Annihilator 83. So this is an interesting one. This is more of a tech question, but I will allow it. All right. My 2010 MacBook Pro is about to crap out. I won't be able to get a new Mac since they are not as good as they once were. My options are, and here's where the question comes in. My options are to get a cheap laptop and use it for internet, email, etc., get a new next-gen console, or get a gaming PC built. I don't know how much. I don't know how much when it comes to PC troubleshooting. My price range would be 800 euros. So he's basically asking, should he get a new laptop? Should he get a new console, or get a gaming PC? And he only has 800 euros to spend.
I guess it just depends on priorities.
If he's plugging his PC, that PC to a TV, because I'm assuming he doesn't have a monitor, then if he's just going through the laptop,
yeah,
that can get pricey if he wants a high-end one, unless he already has like a 4K TV that has HDMI. Well, it does. Most of them do, almost all of them. So then it's just the PC itself and the graphics card that he puts in it. But the euros, I don't know how much.
Yeah, I'm about to check that out. That shit could be $5 for all I know.
Yeah. So I don't know how that exchange rate goes.
It says it's basically $878.76.
It's tough to get a good gaming PC.
Yeah, you can't. We talked about this before. You can't get a gaming PC for that kind of money.
No.
But you can get a. Well, the next gen console is probably going to cost that much because of the fucking tariffs. So,
dude,
yeah, shit, man.
So you could do that. My advice: get a new gaming console. The thing, email and internet. You have a phone. You have a phone for that. And you're not going to get a good gaming PC for that kind of money. So wait for the new console. That's my advice.
Don't go into getting a PC built.
Yeah. Oh God. Like
no knowledge.
Yeah.
No knowledge.
Yeah.
It will be. You'll want to just burn it.
Yo, Brett, you don't want the kids in the playground making fun of you, right?
What?
I got it.
Nice.
Totally missed that one.
Really? That was your fucking joke.
Oh, the GoBots. Yeah, no, man. No. No, I was talking more about like you need to know how to fix your own PC.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to troubleshoot.
Yeah. If you're, getting a custom car built for you, you should at least know a little bit about the mechanics enough to be like, oh, this is wrong. But yeah, it's unless you have an IT guy or a best friend, like don't pay somebody to build you a PC because you're gonna have to fuck with drivers. You're gonna have to troubleshoot the operating system. You're gonna have to do all kinds of fucking crazy shit to get your games to even run right. And if you have no experience in that, it is not worth the hassle.
There's always hiccups, man. Always hiccups.
Honestly, I would go for the laptop.
Really?
I mean, because I don't remember the first part of the
Oh wait, yeah, because then he can use the Google shit and just stream his stuff.
Stadia.
Stadia.
Yeah.
Stadia. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's actually doesn't sound too bad. Actually. I mean,
you can get a really thin laptop that'll last you a long time, and you can use it for a lot of other things. Like
can you get a good laptop for $878?
Oh yeah.
Pretty decent one, yeah.
Yeah, that you can. Because believe it or not, a lot of people don't buy laptops. If they're going to go that route, they'll just get a tablet.
But he said he uses a laptop for internet and email.
But it's dying on him.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but if you want to, Stadia is actually a viable option. You know my.
There you go. That's the audience. That's the audience for people like him.
Dude, get a cheap laptop and an next gen.
Yeah, actually, let's go further. Cheap laptop, Xbox Game Pass. There you go.
No, you won't be able to run it. You won't be able to run it. But you can
really can't you stream Xbox Game Pass?
No, you can't stream.
No. It's all okay. Never mind. Stadia is the one that you can stream though, right?
Yeah, everything's running off of their servers, so you're doing it's basically a pre-version remote.
All you need is good internet connection for that. I thought Xbox Game Pass gave you a streaming option too. I guess I was wrong.
That's the new one. That's the other service. That's coming to the tablets and to the phone. That hasn't happened. That's xCloud. You're thinking of xCloud.
That's what I'm thinking. Thank you, Adam. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that hasn't launched yet, but at least it's in beta for Android users. So if you guys got the Android phones and shit, go for it. Make that dream come true. But I'm telling you, I can't wait. That's the future right there. I mean, if they can get it to do everything, but who knows?
Yeah. All right. Anybody else?
I actually agree. With these guys, get a decent sized laptop, and then what you can do is you can have best of all worlds. You can get xCloud. That way you get all your Xbox games. Get PS Now, so you get all your PlayStation games, and then get GeForce. And then with GeForce, it logs into your Steam account, and then stream your Steam games, and then voila, you win.
There we go. That's it. No one has zapped the battle. Yo, Joe. Yo, Brian. Shit.
There you go.
Up in the knowledge.
Don't let it slide that Brian said, I actually agree with these guys. I'm like, what? Like it would be so crazy to agree with me and Adam.
He's got a little checklist. We don't see it, but he checks off. We say something like, I put the X.
I'm pretty sure he does.
No, because it makes sense. Again, he has a budget. The budget is well defined. He said that he doesn't do much anyway, so with a decent sized laptop, you can actually get. They don't
generally make sense.
That's how I saw it, man.
I think Brian's
trying to be eloquent here, guys.
You just let the accent be the eloquent one, man.
Good luck with that.
The hate here is amazing.
Am I the only one who didn't take that shit personally? Shit, you bunch of pussies.
Whoa.
What do you mean, you bunch of pussies?
I was going to reply to that, but I can't say that on air now. I mean, you're all a bunch of... All right, I'll stop.
Yeah. Go for a decent-sized laptop. Well, decent spec one. Again, if it does all your networking, all your emails, watching film, that stuff, $800 or €800 will do just fine. And then just get everything streamed to you, and you'll get the best of all worlds. Again, GeForce Now, I think it's still in beta, so you can get access to that. Usually takes like a month and a half, but then again, it gets all your Steam games, and then from there you just get them streamed to you, and voila, that's it.
Brian, why not just buy a $300 netbook and a new console then?
Nah, because the netbook can't even do sometimes struggles with web browsing and shit like that.
Wait,
netbooks aren't that good at all. I don't even, they also, even though you're streaming all these streaming services for the games, there's still certain requirements. There's still some devices that they can't stream on.
Interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting. I don't trust netbooks. And plus, phones are usually as powerful as netbooks anyway, so I find them just be weird. There's a weird place where they're so cheap that they're kind of useless because they do everything that your phone does. So when you have a device that does everything your phone does, then it's what's the point?
Yeah, that's right.
Don't you have phones?
Yeah,
Yeah, don't you have phones?
I agree with that.
Oh
What do you mean, funny
man.
enough?
Don't worry, Brian. I
Hello?
got you. I got you.
The next question, man.
Crazy. All right,
This
man.
mother?
Yes. Oh man. All right. Yeah. G Megaforce 123 with the last two questions of the night. Unless anybody else has any more questions, we will happily take them. So submit them now. What's going on? Lil Niz Shover. He says it's Niz. What's going on, man? All right. What the fuck are we? Okay. First question: if there's always a backlash for censorship, why do companies still do it? I guess put out controversial shit. I don't know. I kind of don't understand this question.
What is
I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna read it again. If there's always a backlash for censorship, why do companies still do it?
There's a backlash from people, but I mean, they have to do censorship from their shareholders and investors. I mean, that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter if there's a backlash; they're always going to piss somebody off with something.
Right. There's a there's a term in business called, well, I mean, it's mostly used for airlines, but it's called calculated misery. Basically,
Well, I like that.
Yeah, I
I
like
want
that.
that my new handle. That's going to be my new handle.
you have to figure out. You have to separate sales from just outrage, right? So you get a bunch of people. Let's say you put out a game, maybe you import a game from Japan. Maybe it's like Dead or Alive beach volleyball, but you're gonna put flashes and like you take out all the skimpy outfits. They're just in full bathing sweater. You just strip all the stuff out of the game that's in the Japanese version because decency or whatever, and then you get backlash, right? But you have to figure out, okay, I'm importing this game. I know this segment of the market will buy it, this many people. Unless the outrage is severe, I mean like severe, like call-ins, write-ins, like the shareholders, like I start hearing from people that you butchered this game, whatever, then that's when that stuff stops. But if they don't reach that pain point, if you're just going on the YouTube trailer and going, I hate this, it's censored, I'm not going to buy it, that's not enough of a pain point for them. They have to have critical loss of revenue before they decide, like, maybe we shouldn't do that, right? That's when it's a tipping point. If their investors say, hey, we need to be more family friendly and you need to cut content from your games or whatever, they'll listen to those guys first before the opposite happens, where the pain point from the customers is, hey, I'm not going to buy this, and neither is like this whole segment or most of the segment that you're looking to sell to is not going to buy this if you take this content out. So that's really the only way to push back against that stuff. Like, you could yell at Sony, but if you're the only one, you're yelling into a valley, right? You need everybody to be in kind of solidarity, and it has to be more than just words. It has to be more than just comments and angry tweets. It has to be, we're not buying this, and then they'll listen.
Yeah. Anybody else? I think you pretty much hit it right there.
No, that's it.
That was
That's
perfect.
it.
Beautifully said, sir.
Drop the mic.
All right. All right. And the last question of the night, unless somebody wants to ask us anything before we wrap up here. Would you care if video game graphics stopped improving today?
No, I got to switch. Shit, that says it all right there. Shit looks like it's from the 1950s, and I'm happy with it. I mean,
he's like, I got little dots on the screen.
Yeah, literally, I'm playing Cuphead on that shit. That's fucking old ass shit. You know what I mean? It's fine. I mean, it's really not about graphics; it's gameplay. With the big two, they're arguing about it back and forth because that's just what they do. But the truth is, it's not about that. Graphics, portability. I mean, there's a bunch of different variables that people look at, but I think right now it seems to be fun factor. Fun and portability. That's what people want. We're seeing that even with mobile. That's why that freaking arcade, iTunes, Apple Arcade is taking off. $4.99. Got a bunch of BS games for people to subbing it. They want it because it's portable and it's somewhat decent. That's all that people care about.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the line here, Chris.
I don't think so. Like, there's honestly, I was looking at something earlier, like this guy did a YouTube video on CGI, and he was asking if it was getting worse and stuff. I honestly look at some of that shit, and either it's so good that I'm like, why didn't you just film this shit and not spend millions on CG? Could have just hired people to do this shit, or it's so weird and awkward that I can't help but stare at it because it just hits uncanny valley and like the eyes look wrong or some shit. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think that that's the most important part of games. I don't think it ever was. I think if you have good story, good action stuff, it obviously doesn't look like janky shit. Like if you have decent looking stuff and you have a great story, it's fine. I can still go back and play and enjoy Metal Gear Solid, and that shit
Yeah.
compared to today looks like it looks like trash. They have blocky hands or whatever. I can still enjoy that shit because the story was excellent. It was amazing. So I think if there's not a leap in stuff, that's fine. I think there's other areas that need to be improved. I think shit could needs to go backwards a little,
What
actually.
about this load time? Because it looks like both of these new consoles just keep advertising no load time or reduced load time. That seems to be the big
they need to fucking
talking
improve.
point.
They need to improve the fucking load times to fucking send messages in their freaking UIs, man.
Yeah, improving load times will help. Yeah, just a lot of frustration using, like, I know when we do party chat in PSN, I have to switch back and forth to whatever. It's slow as shit, especially in Monster Hunter. It takes
Oh,
forever
yeah.
for my thing to go back to the UI so I could change something. And yeah, I mean that needs to be improved. Sure, there's those things that need to be improved. Interface, like I wish well, Xbox needs an overhaul. I mean, they need to talk about going backwards. Just go back to the 360. Like, get rid of this tiled shit. And for PS5, yeah, it could use some improvements, but where the improvements need to come from is developers. Like, honestly, like, you gotta they gotta push back against the soulless crap. Like, there's just too much derivative shit. I think Ghost Recon Breakpoint honestly looks like crap. I took a look at it. I think honestly it took like a huge step backwards, and not in a good way. It just it's like, how did you fuck this up? And I think there's too many games like that where they're just like cash grabs and stuff. They stick microtransactions. That's what companies are worried about. They're like, how the fuck can we monetize the shit out of this? Right? They're not thinking like, hey, we got this great story to tell. I think that died last gen. I wish we go back to that.
Yeah, the thing with Breakpoint, and I'm still working on that one because I got some other shit I'm doing, but they didn't listen to the audience. They didn't listen to their customers for what they wanted from I'm freaking out. I'm reading something horrible right here. This is so sad. But from Wildlands, because Wildlands, everybody enjoyed it. At least the people that got into it. It's like, all right, now we see where this could go. And then Ubisoft sort of hinted that they were going that direction with some of the expansions, like when they did the Predator expansion. We're like, oh wow, that's really cool. They're going in that direction. We're going to get something fun out of it. And then they just flipped it all the way to the extreme. Oh, we're going to make this super serious and get a big name actor, but it's the story falls flat. No one cares, and it's a shame. It's a shame because the first one was really good, and it looks like they're just going in a different direction. Now it's still early, and we always talk about Ubisoft and how they never give up on their games, and they always update, and they do. So it's still early. They can still twist things around, make some changes, and bring that fun back. But right now, the fun is gone.
Yeah. Carlos, what about you? Graphics.
I'll care. It's just one factor that determines sort of the natural progression of video games. Like that's how I've known video games my whole life. It's like, yeah, it's the next generation. Games have to look better because Moore's law, So it's like we should expect games to look better. Yeah, of course. If games don't look drastically better, then that's still fine as long as they like Chris mentioned, they have a good story, they have a good performance. Then that's fine. But
what does better mean?
Well, in terms of what?
Graphics. What are you talking about here, man?
But I mean, like, you had a Wii, right? And you talked about how you were a fan of that. That did not look better for what was available with the
But
PlayStation, with the
it looked
Xbox.
better than a GameCube.
No, I don't even mean that. Like, do you mean better is more photorealistic, or better as in just the ability to do more with a graphics engine? Like, Spider-Verse looked fucking amazing, but it didn't look super realistic. So, you can have something animated that has 5 different light sources and 30 different particle effects going on. It looks amazing, but it doesn't look realistic. So, what do you quantify as better?
In terms of, for example,
graphics.
Yeah. In terms of, like, for example, pixel density, in terms of how many pixels does an image produce when you're running a game, like, where we're going from HD 480p to HD to 4K to now shit's gonna be 8K. That kind of stuff it's just something that's always been progressing. If we reach a point where there's really no point to progress, then I understand. But so far, I still see there being reasons to progress. Also, in terms of lighting and physics, that's also part of graphics that can improve drastically, especially physics. The best water that I've seen so far created in a video game is Sea of Thieves, and the water still looks kind of weird. So there's still a long way to go for that kind of stuff too. So there's just plenty of stuff in terms of better. I'm not talking through it from a subjective point of view. I'm talking more of an objective point of view.
Benchmarks.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, because looking pretty can mean different things to different people.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. Brian, what about you, man?
I think we've reached the point where they look really good, like in general, and I don't think that companies should focus that much on making it look better, because the problem that you get with that is if you take one of the best looking games of last generation and look at it now, it looks like dog shit. Uncharted 2. Remember how everyone was just like blown away by the train demo and the train section?
Yeah.
Now we go back to it, and it's like, looks kind of, So I feel like the same thing's just going to keep on happening like every single gen. Like, best looking game of that gen, when viewed through the eyes of next gen, does not look that great. Yeah, you take a game that looks stylish back then and look at it now, then it looks fine. Like, Rapper the Rapper. That game looks like it can come out like tomorrow, Because again, it stands the test of time. And I think that's what people need to look at. Like, hey, making games shiny looks good only for like the 3-4 years since it comes out, but after that it just kind of falls by the wayside, and it's just like one of those things that people look back and say, oh, okay, this is how things were back then, this is how things are now. I would rather that people just spend money on other aspects of the game. Like, for example, storytelling. I want better stories. Like, I feel like gaming is like kind of stuck in like the pseudo like teenage type stories where it just doesn't seem to get better from there. It just seems to be like really mellow. Like, it seems like the people that are writing stories these days it seems to be writing stories seems to be like they are teenagers writing stories, and that it doesn't seem to be all that complex, or just it seems to be very surface level complexity and nothing more than that. Yeah, you get your odds ones here and there, but honestly, it just seems to be like, hey, let's take this idea I seen in a film once and make it into a game, or let's take this story that I seen in this TV show and make that into a game. It's like, no, give me interesting games. Like, give me games where the main character is morally ambiguous and you don't hit me around the head with how morally he can be, or she can be, or it can be, or whatever.
Take pleasure back.
Yo, bro, you're cutting
out, bro.
Any better?
Keep talking. We'll see what happens.
It's a Brian. That would only.
Nope.
Then he cut out again.
Okay, I'm guessing that Brett's making a point about how that would involve making games where where the main character can do bad things, and given the climate, that's not going to work, which is fair.
Yep.
But it's still something I think we should have, because God damn it! Like games can do so much more than what they're doing now. Like it's fine that we get our just causes, but at the same time, give us like I don't know, our Witcher 3s, our Metro Last Light. Give us like games where we get
Our
characters
Dragon's
we
Dogma.
don't know.
Dude, this is starting to sound like
No.
a call to gamers.
No, it's
Give
not
us our
Dragon's
Metro
Dogma.
Last Lights.
No, I mean like give us stories where we don't know if the main guy is good or bad. Like give us stories where like, hey, here's a character, he's done some shitty things, and he's also done some good things. How do you feel about this character? It's like, is it good? Is it bad? We don't know. Again, give us games where we can explore that aspect
Yeah.
of things. And
So
again,
put,
Mass Effect.
yeah, both. Have us both. Yeah, Mass Effects. Yeah, but less red and blue stuff, more purple, I guess.
well, I mean, not
Well, we
even
got three
okay.
colors.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not
Brett.
even like you get to choose. Like, put us in the shoes of somebody who was an asshole. Put us in the shoes of somebody who has to make terrible decisions. Make somebody
Oh,
play through a Breaking Bad.
Have you played Infamous Second Son?
Or even better, give us a game where we start off being the good guy and then like we gradually get worse, and then at the end we turn out to be the asshole and the villain of the story. I would love that. I mean like actual like villain, not like hey I'm just Shepard but angry. Like no, give us like actual villainy stuff. It's like you generally get worse and worse and worse and worse, and then eventually at the end it's like, hey, well done, you're now the asshole.
Oh,
Understand?
dude, and the game could end with you getting killed by a young upstart adventurer with high expectations and no world experience.
Or even better, like the game ends off with you getting killed by who you were at the start of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then have like some sort of like Dark Souls esque like, hey, the cycle is reborn. I don't know. Game ideas. Credit me for that one, please.
Have
But
you
yeah,
finished Singularity, Brian?
I have not. I'm sorry, Brett. I did start it. I got like 1 hour played. I am going through it.
Seems like Brian.
Slowly but surely.
Seems like Brian needs to play Gone Home, man.
Gone home. I
Oh,
did.
God.
I got all the trophies.
Yo, man, that shit's got a deep story.
She's gay.
Yeah, whoa, spoiler
Wait,
alert.
what?
Oh,
Well,
God.
okay.
Game of the year.
Well, I never told you who she is, so she could be anyone. Like who knows? Huh? She could be the mother. She could be the father. Who knows?
She
Let's
could
find
be
out,
You
right?
just can't go around. You just can't go around saying gay. That's heteronormative. Something or other.
Oh,
She has a
man.
preference.
I almost had it.
She has a preference for the same sex. I don't know. Same sex preference.
All right,
Whatever.
before we get
Anyway,
in trouble.
yeah, graphics. Yes, it's okay,
Jesus.
but I'd rather more effort be put in other places. I mean, Last of Us 2, you can look as shiny as it does, but if y'all all are going to tell me that she's angry and it's revenge story, it's like I have Afro Samurai for that. And Afro Samurai, I think, will do better. I'm sorry. Like, prove me wrong.
Yeah. All right, Brett,
You
what
know-
do you
you
say
know-
about graphics, man?
They still suck. I guess I'm looking at different things than everybody else. Like, yes, I will grant you that everything has very high resolution textures on it, but that is really the only thing that has gotten much better. True light sourcing, true shadow casting aren't really very good. Clipping of parts of outfits through other parts of outfits and other things in the world are awful. There's you just get used to the bottom half of your trench coat cutting into the side of the car when you get in. Like that's just a thing, and we're just used to, the reason that they don't have capes in a lot of games is because they're apparently hard to fucking code for. Like, just the little shit that we don't have, the way that hair doesn't move naturally, the way that clothes don't move
Apparently
naturally,
some
the things
of you
that
care
collision
about.
detection doesn't do naturally. The fact that when somebody runs, they're running on a perfect gait that never changes in an endlessly repeating cycle. Like, a lot of it is obviously recycled or immersion breaking, but we've just become numb to it. To think that we don't have room to improve in graphics, I think is kind of silly just because everything is crisp and shiny. Yeah, it's crisp and shiny, yet we still don't have character models that look actually human because it's just a super highly rendered skin stitched over a digital skeleton without any kind of like individual movement from muscle groupings or anything underneath, because we don't have the, we don't have the ability to calculate for that, or we don't have like, I know we have the ability to animate these things. I've seen animated movies that have done this, but apparently we can't do it on consoles yet. So, until we move past that uncanny valley where, the bottom of your hair is clipping through the top of your collar, I say we still have a long way to go in graphics.
Brett, can I call you out real quick?
Show.
You said that programming capes is hard on video game. You clearly didn't. You clearly didn't see Superman 64 because they did it flawlessly.
All I know is that was one of the reasons that they mentioned that you didn't see capes, and I think it was Skyrim or something.
No, I know what you're talking about. In general, if you have a cape in a video game, it's going to go through your character at one point or another. It always will.
A lot of clipping.
Yeah, always clipping.
Yeah, no, Bloodborne, like, I think it was Bloodborne, had to pay special attention to that to try and make sure that there was this little, like, and it still isn't perfect, but, like, wow, like, the cape actually, like, collides with the back of my feet. That's really weird to say. The first time you see it, you're just like, huh, that feels like a thing that should happen. It feels like a thing that I should know more of. And like I want to see like hair actually like, cascading down the shoulder, or like, and you kind of see some of it, when they dodge left and they dodge right, but then it clips through their shoulder or something like that. It's just these little things that we've grown accustomed to. But I think that when you don't see them, it would change things. Like the best way I can describe this is, I've played VR games that, despite having a lower resolution, are more immersive. And I realize that that's because obviously it's strapped to your fucking face, but also like your brain has a good way to kind of fill in certain little details. You don't need to see really well to feel like something's realistic. In the real world, not everybody has 20/20 vision. And they rely on things like the movement of shapes against other shapes and things like that. Like, there's much more to sight than just perfect eagle vision. And I think that we've not focused enough on all the other parts that make the world look, super realistic.
For me, I'm the wrong person to ask this because I've been, ever since the PS2 era, and I don't know why I keep doing this. My brain's just wired this way. Ever since the PS2 era, I'm like, that's it. We've topped out graphics. We cannot get better than this. And graphics always get fucking better. They always get better. So, that's where I'm coming at it from. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, to me right now, I'm looking at the game graphics, and I'm like, that's it. We've reached the valley. But I'm going to be proven wrong, as I've been proven wrong for the last 20 years. So, I'm kind of not qualified to answer this shit. So, but I actually know if they stopped evolving now, I guess I wouldn't care. Because I keep thinking we've hit the plateau, so I guess I wouldn't care. But I'm gonna go kind of with Brian. So like, can we get more stylized games? Because every game that tries to look realistic eventually doesn't look as good a couple years down the line. But think about it like this: like the 16-bit era, those games still look good, right? But then you have the PS1 era, the era afterwards, they look like dog shit, So stylized games definitely get your money's worth. So I would like to see that. Even though people like the shiny, though,
To be fair, stylized games in the PS1 era look like shit too.
Yeah, the polygonal ones, yeah. Sprite ones, they still stand a test of time, But you're right about that. Parappa the Rapper still looks good though. But you're right. Some stylized games, yeah, like the polygonal ones specifically.
But I get what you're saying. Like, for example, like a game like Cuphead will last forever.
Always going to look good.
Always good.
Always going to look good. But something even dope, like what's the most graphically dope game right now? Like The Witcher 3, right? 10 years from now, you're gonna be like, Actually, Brian, what is the graphic?
I wouldn't put that. Uncharted 4.
Uncharted. You think Uncharted 4 looks better than The Witcher?
Yeah. The Witcher is just amazing because it can fit so much content. But
I would say Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead, yeah.
That's another one.
You know what? Let's go with that. Red Dead Redemption 2, 10 years from now, you're going to be like, this looks as good as I remember, because you're going to be something that looks even crazier, at that point,
Yeah. Oh, I have a question, actually.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
Why?
What's your thought on Red Dead 2 coming to PC next month?
That's the Butter Edition. That's the Butter Edition.
No, you know what I would say to that? Called it. I said that shit a year ago. What I say? I said watch this shit come to PC a year after it comes out on fucking consoles. Bam. And
Well, that's no shocker.
Yeah,
They did it with GTA 5.
All of us called it. Everybody on this podcast called it. You know, everybody.
You know, like,
yeah, go ahead. Because you saw dudes on Twitter like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, you guys,
you know why though?
This shit coming?
You know why?
Yeah.
Because the first one never showed up. And there was no reason for it.
See, but
they just never did it.
Yeah, no, I understand. But the thing is, everybody on this show said, like, look what they did with GTA 5. They put the shit on our console first, then they came to PC to double dip. We knew that was going to happen, you know, so no surprise there. Go ahead, Brian.
There's one thing that I find really, really interesting. So this is a game that's coming out on Rockstar's launcher thing and on Epic Game Store on the same day. But then a month later, it's coming out on Steam.
But
so
the codes...
like a month difference between it, so we'll actually get to see like how well Epic Game Store stacks against Steam in terms of who actually cares about it. So I find that interesting, and it's nice to know that Rockstar is like one of the few companies that told Epic Game Store to go fuck themselves. Because we all know that they tried for like a 6-month exclusive deal, but Epic Game Store.
Rockstar was like, nah, son.
Well, the difference,
but
that's the thing. The
Cockstar, you know, like, nah, son.
I mean, the big difference here is that they are also launching their launcher at the same time. So it's like, well, we have our own platform that we're trying to push besides just this game.
So so again, it is interesting how they've done that and like the Game Store exclusive like a month. So again, most people will just probably wait or get on the Rockstar thing. But I really want to know the numbers like for the first like month or 2 months in comparison between every Game Store and Rockstar launcher in terms of like which one actually had more traffic. Because I'm willing to bet it's Rockstar launcher because so many people will just be like, okay, screw this.
Yeah, they want this shit on day one. Yeah. Fuck. You know your boy's probably gonna get that shit on PC too, man. Fucking, they got me, man. I knew they were gonna do that shit. Motherfuckers. You know. Anyway, I think we're done, people. Yeah, we're done here. Let me pull up the little schedule here. Oh wait, wrong graphic. Oh god, why? All right, here we go. So throw down your questions. How to submit your questions. Step 1, you join our Discord. Step 2, on Discord, you go to the throw down your questions section. And step 3, you submit your questions. You limit them to 2 video gaming questions. And, you know, you should just join Discord in general. We have a lot of fun in there, you know. Shout out to those guys for keeping it nice and active in there and for providing us with show notes every fucking, like, they always throwing shit like, okay, I just searched through the Discord, like, okay, we're gonna talk about this and that, you know. So you guys are very helpful. So yeah, man, I guess Manny will be back on Thursday. We'll have a regular show and hopefully something interesting happens this week, man. Even though this week was kind of interesting, like there wasn't a main topic for the show, but there was a lot of shit to talk about, you know, which is always good. And again, I want to thank Carlos and you know, the guys from the Platform podcast and all, obviously you guys here for holding it down on Thursday. Appreciate it, you know.
Yeah, Thursday, and then on Friday they came on. We did the WrestleCast. It's like 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours.
Damn,
you guys are crazy, man.
Shit was long.
Talking about CM Punk, man.
A little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, we're done here, man. Thank you for watching and listening. Leave us a question on the Throwdown Discord server, and we'll answer them on next week's show. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and the Facebooks at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and today I was joined by Carlos Romero.
Yo, man, make sure to check my, you know, my booth. You know, Excellence number 3.
What?
I don't know.
They're up to number 5 down, motherfucker. Yeah. Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Adam Vale.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Brett Murdoch.
And now we got flagged for copyright. Thanks, Adam.
Oh, but I was singing, and my singing is horrible, so they won't be able to pick it up.
And of course, Mr. Brian Manjoma.
I just don't know what it is, but I'm finding it really funny that people are mad at clowns now.
They've never liked clowns.
Yeah, no, they don't. They really don't like them now. They fear that clowns are going to turn people into psychopathic murderers. God. All right.
Especially after what happened tonight.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right. We'll see you guys on Thursday, man. Peace out.
Laters.
Jesus.